Yeah, I thought so. Put your hands down. Put your hands down before you get your ass beat on this motherfucking video in front of your friends. Now.
I do know y'all can't put hands on your kids like that no more, right? Like you do know in like certain places, like your like they could arrest your ass. Like the fact that y'all literally not only embarrass your children and make the situation worse than what it is, but then proceed to threaten them live and think that eventually someone not gonna come for you for it, whether it's socially, legally, etc. Like at least keep the shit to a minimum. At least do it off the camera. It's like y'all are real brazen. What up, everybody? I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel. Welcome to another video. As you guys can tell by the intro, as well as the title, we're going to be reacting to another parent basically dragging their kid on the internet. But this time, it's for the child popping their butt on social media when they had no business doing so. Now, the thing is, we already know TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, like there is so many different social medias out there for the children to choose from, and active concerned parents actually do not want their children on social media. But it is extremely difficult to mitigate this when we give our children smartphones. So as you know, right, I haven't done one of these videos in a very long time for a lot of different reasons, but I really wanted to get back into them because I always have too much to say about them. And one thing I've been consistently saying is stop giving children smartphones. And every time I say this, you have stupid, okay? And I'm going to say it right now, stupid as adults and parents that be like, oh, well, how are the kids supposed to communicate? How are they supposed to call me bitch with a chirp? The same way we used non-smartphones back in the day, you better go get that kid an Obama phone. You better get them a flip phone. You better get them something, because unrestricted internet access is not healthy. It is not safe. And most importantly, it's not for children, especially like 4, 5, 6, 8, 10-year-olds. Like the fact that I know 3-year-olds with a phone is concerning and extremely problematic. Now we have these ads out here for social media addiction and doom scrolling and all of that. And it's like, I wonder why. I've been told y'all this was going to be a thing. Okay. Before it even became a thing, I knew it was going to be a thing, because it is absolutely insane how addicted these children are to phones, and how basically we're handing them an addiction before they're even able to read. Okay. There's no reason for children to have smartphones. The world is dangerous. Things could be put in front of them that we do not want put in front of them. They can have access to things that we would more than likely never give them access to. So the fact that you guys continue to give your children smartphones and then complain on the internet and embarrass them on the internet as if it's their fault that they got the smartphone and they bought it themselves, absolutely crazy to me. Like the whole idea of giving a child, ready, a person without a fully developed brain, a piece of technology, and expecting them to do right all the time with it, fucking dumb. Like it really is. But I know a lot of you guys more than likely have seen this video, so if you have, a comment down below. What do you guys think about this video? Would you guys have handled this better? Do you guys think she's just protecting her daughter? Do you think she went too far? I would love to hear your comments down below. I haven't watched the entire thing, so we are going to watch it together. Make sure if you guys are seeing my face and you see it all the time, you understand we have multiple channels, and make sure you're subscribed to all, or the ones that suit your fancy. This is the main channel. Rants, reactions, and commentary on Black issues. We do little scams, a little bit of teacher content. I am actually a dance coach / dance teacher. So yeah, that's what I do. So I work with a lot of kids that act just like this kid and many of the kids that I react to on this channel. And speaking of that, shout out to those of you guys who have been congratulating me, because I finally founded my dance nonprofit. I have 2 businesses and now a nonprofit. And honestly, I am so proud of it. A lot of you guys have been hearing me talk about this for years. My nonprofit provides dance services for underprivileged youth and adults. I need to see you there. Okay. Everything's going to be linked down below. If you're not in the area or you can't support, of course, make sure you guys head down to the link in the description or in the pinned comment to donate. This is not mandatory. I'm just letting you guys know it is there. For those of you guys on the Patreon or any of the memberships, I appreciate you more than anything. We're going to Brazil, July 2026. So if you always wanted to go to Brazil or you always wanted to travel with me, everything you need is going to be linked down below. Thank you to everyone who has already done so and chose not to procrastinate. Y'all need to stop playing games. July is right around the corner. That being said, let's watch this together.
Since she grown and she wanna pop her ass, put your hands down before I punch you in this motherfucking video. Yeah, I thought so. Put your hands down. Put your hands down before you get your ass beat on this motherfucking video in front of your friends. Now, you wanna embarrass?
I do know y'all can't put hands on your kids like that no more, right? Like, you do know in like certain places, like your carreteo, like they could arrest your ass. Like, the fact that y'all literally not only embarrass your children and make the situation worse than what it is, but then proceed to threaten them live and think that eventually someone not gonna come for you for it, whether it's socially, legally, etc. Like, at least keep the shit to a minimum. At least do it off the camera. It's like, y'all are real brazen.
You want to embarrass me? I'm going to embarrass the fuck out of you. So grown. Don't even know how to wipe your ass. But you popping your ass on videos. Show them what your ass really look like. So grown. This how she going to stand up the rest.
Y'all love that line. Y'all love the can't even wash your ass line, when it doesn't make any sense, because if the child, especially a female child, cannot wash her ass or wipe her ass properly, who does that reflect poorly on? I'm just saying.
So grown. This how she gonna stand up the rest of the vacation. I'm gonna make sure I update this every day. Put your hand down before I punch you, and I'm not playing. Put your hands down. Put your hands down. This is what you want to do. Put your hand down, bro. I don't give a fuck. I don't want you popping your ass on videos, but you do it now. So every day I'm gonna post a video embarrassing your ass.
Yikes. I have too much to say about this. And one of the main things I'm going to say about this, a lot of y'all are not going to be happy, but I said what I said. I meant what I said, and I'll say it again. How is it that we dress and treat our children like they're grown, but then are very confused when they do grown activity, right? We abandon our children. We leave them with only one parent because we didn't decide to use protection, or we just let anyone nut in us, or, we thought a man was better than he was, but we ignored all the red flags, and then we have these kids and we expect them to be okay when they're already at a disadvantage with just one parent. And then we know they exhibit certain behaviors that are not conducive to good behavior, but we reward the behavior, or better yet, we normalize certain things that are supposed to be luxury, such as acrylic nails and butt length weave hair. And we force these kids to fend for themselves because they're grown, right? But then at the same time, when they're at grown, they're not grown, but they're grown, but they're not grown, and they're grown enough, but they're not grown. But then it's like they got on acrylics, and again, hair down to their asses, and we're confused as to why they act like they're grown. You see how crazy and confusing that shit sounds? That's how I be when I see kids like this, especially because I work specifically with a group of kids that act just like this kid. Worse. And it always leads down to my parents don't talk to me. My parents don't want to be near me. My parents don't this. It's funny. Like, they'll have a whole spew of how they had to take care of themselves. That's why they sell drugs. They had to take care of themselves. That's why they sell themselves. They had to take care of themselves. That's why they run the streets and do whatever, because no one could tell them anything, because no one raised them. And it always goes down to, well, I could never talk to my parents because they're never there, or my mom neglects me, or she works all the time. I don't see her. It always goes down to that. And these kids are forced to grow up. And it doesn't help that we're rewarding children like who have piss poor behavior, piss poor grades, piss poor attitudes, just piss poor overall in life, and we're getting their nails done and getting their hair did. Like, and I'm not saying your kid need to walk around being a bum, right? But kids don't need acrylics, okay? They don't need crystal. They don't need UV gel. They don't need $1,000 iPhones and moose knuckle jackets. Like, y'all, I can't tell you how it makes zero sense that I work at an alternative charter school for kids literally on their last chance of life, and these kids really be walking around with moose knuckle and macaque jackets. Those are $1,000, okay? Hundreds to thousands of dollars worth of jackets on these kids, okay? It's like, what is actually going on? No child of mine will be going to an alternative school with fucking designer. I'm talking about they walk around with $500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 handbags, freaking $1,000 boots on, like. And it's not just one or two. It's a grand majority of these kids. And it bothers me because I understand the whole idea of we want our children to have more than what we had, right? We want our children to want for nothing. We want our children to fit in. We want the kid, like shit, even if you're just an auntie or a grandma, you want those kids to feel like, you know, they're on top of the world. You want them to learn and grow and create bonds and relationships without the idea of being bullied because of what they don't have. But it comes to a point where if you know your child got an attitude, you know they have bad grades, you know they're just not up to par where they need to be academically or in any other boat, and you still reward them with fucking designer acrylic nails and like $200-300 braids. Like, that's crazy, and it sends a horrible message, right? It sends the message of this child could do whatever it is that they want. It doesn't matter what they do. They're still going to get designer. They're still going to get what they want. They're still going to be able to fit in. They're still going to whatever. And again, I'm not saying your kid needs to be naked. They need to be walking around with, you know, like, what y'all be calling it, slave hair. That y'all are crazy. Y'all be calling natural hair slave hair, and it's disgusting. It's despicable. It's another video for another time. But it's like, it doesn't mean they need to be walking around without their hair done in a general sense, right? It doesn't mean they need to walk around with their fingers like nubs or without nail polish. I'm saying, why are we giving children luxuries when they don't deserve it? Why are we paying extra money for services that are luxury when they can't even get higher than a C average? I don't get it. It makes zero sense to me. In this case, I will say, right, the child should not have been on the internet popping ass. I think that's just common sense. I don't even have to say that. But at the same time, it's like, why is the child online popping ass? When you give a child unrestricted access to the internet, they're going to do whatever it is that they want. Okay, they're going to shake their ass on the internet. They might scam. They might give a rapist, your address because they don't know any better because they're children. And I think a lot of people forget that. Everybody's so caught up on, oh, my kid's so smart, my kid's so this, my kid's so that. Your kid's still a kid. Your kid might fall into the traps of bullshit because they're a kid. Okay, now you add social media to that. What do you actually expect to happen, right? Especially when it's like, the kid has explicitly been told not to do it. They're genuinely going to do it now because you explicitly told them not to do it. Like, because either that kid wants attention, or because it's like they just want to test the waters, or because, again, they're a kid. They do not understand the consequences of their actions. That's the difference between a child and an adult. An adult can rationalize and be like, hey, such and such told me not to do this. I'm going to do it anyway. What's the worst that can happen? A kid is like, such and such told me not to do it, and I want to, so I'm going to do it and just hope I don't get caught. What's the worst that could happen? Like, no, we as adults are able to sit there and be like, okay, this can happen, this can happen, this can happen, this can happen. While a kid is just like, what's the worst that can happen? When we all know the worst that can happen. Okay, now you getting caught up and you getting dragged on the internet, face out everything because you chose to twerk on the internet. And you, mom, are now forced with the realization that you cannot trust kids with unrestricted internet access and a smartphone. You just can't. Even now, thinking about it as an adult, like growing up, I had a computer in my room. I grew up with computers, honestly. And I will say, I mean, it helped me in the long run. Like, now I'm an influencer. I'm very, very tech savvy. But in a general sense, that was not safe. I was definitely looking up things I had no business looking up. Not every day, not all the time. But I definitely was. But I will say back then, adults were very, very non-privy to the caca that they had online. And also, it wasn't that bad. Now it's like you scroll on X and you might be on OnlyFans for 2 seconds because people are just posting their booties and their cooters and all of that every 2 seconds, right? You got PEDOs that literally seek out children and literally turn innocent images into very suggestive images. You have people out there that are seeking your children's information, and your children are not smart enough to know, like, hey, stranger danger exists online too. So it's like, it's very interesting. It's very confusing, especially like the fact that this new generation of parents, a lot of them are actually really young, and you would think they would kind of understand the dangers of social media, and it wouldn't be just a don't be on social media, don't create a social media account. It would be I'm going to give my kid a Nokia phone with no internet access because I know how dangerous it is. It would have been a completely different conversation if she gave the child a chirp, right? She gave the child like a boost, a Nokia phone, a flip phone, a non-smartphone, and then she went out her way to create an account on a friend's tablet or whatever, or a friend's phone, and then she was on there completely different because you did what you could. You didn't give her a smartphone, and you know, that's that. But the fact that y'all give y'all kids this access and expect them not to use the access is like, I want to understand the logic. The child does not need an Android. Okay, they don't need the Samsung 23. They don't need the iPhone 16, 17, whatever number they on now. They don't need it. quite frankly, a lot of you guys are putting your children in harm's way, okay? You're putting your children in danger, and then you're confused when the children are putting themselves in danger. Now, I understand on another hand, it's like, okay, well, she's just trying to protect her child. You know, she's acting grown, but it's funny because y'all be so quick to think that when the logic needs to be, oh, well, maybe she shouldn't have gave her child a smartphone with unrestricted internet access. And I'm going to keep saying this because it's true. It wouldn't happen if she didn't have the access. And if it did, then you would be warranted to be upset because it's like, okay, she went out her way to do that. In the grand scheme, especially when it comes to Black people, okay, we have this bad habit of calling young Black girls fast and blaming their behaviors on them when we did not set them up for success. We sit there and we try to be like, oh, well, this kid is acting like this and it has nothing to do with me, when we already know we was probably the same, if not worse, at their age, and we didn't give them the tools to succeed and be different. We just gave them $300 braids and $50 nail sets that they don't need. And we treated them like they were grown, and we worked 12-hour, 15-hour shifts instead of talking to them and taking them places, because bills are more important than the emotional development of our children. Like, we need to be for real. Like, it's very unfortunate to even have to say this, because you would think it's common sense, but it's not. I feel like even over the years, I used to do these videos all the time, and I feel like I had a little bit of a different opinion, or just like a different nuance in understanding and perspective. But now I'm just like, why do y'all do this to yourselves? Like, it really is crazy. I think before it was like, oh, you know, kids have undeveloped brains. Kids are going to be kids. You're the parent. Now it's like, no, you're doing it to yourself at this point. Like, you're doing it to yourself. Like, in this instance, it's literally like begging someone not to rob you, but leaving the door unlocked with a sign saying, rob me. That's basically what it is. That's the equivalent. You're telling these kids, don't go on the internet. Don't go create a social media account. Don't twerk online. Meanwhile, you're giving them unrestricted internet access to which they can sit there, create TikTok accounts, create Instagram accounts, create Facebook, Snapchat, whatever accounts, and do whatever it is they want. You're not even supervising it. And that's the thing I genuinely don't understand. At least at the bare minimum, if you're going to give your kid an iPhone and they're only like 14, supervise. Okay, supervise. There's no reason why 7-year-olds have TikToks. It's against community guidelines. Why? Like, this doesn't make sense to me. It's different if you're posting your child, but like them having an account, running the account, posting on the account, like they're independent when they're not, when they're minors, and then we're bitching and crying, complaining when something happens. Absolutely not. Okay, so with that being said, I would love to hear in the comments down below, what do you guys think about this? Do you guys think she was just protecting her daughter? Do you guys think that this could have been done differently or handled differently? I feel like it should have been handled offline, point blank period, and don't give her a phone. That's it. I've seen this happen and play out too many times in person with the kids I work with the kids that I know personally, and it just never ends well, because it's one of those situations where it's like, you give a kid candy, they're going to eat it. That's just what it is. And I can't even blame the kid for that. The only thing you can blame the kid for is, well, you were told not to do something and you did it, and now you're in trouble. Should have listened. But other than that, it heavily falls on the guardian's hands, because they gave you something. You're supposed to use it a specific way and you did not. So it's like, and you know, you as an adult, you're supposed to protect your children, right? You're supposed to know what's best. You're supposed to know what's right. And for some stupid reason, you gave your child a smartphone. Like, that's just dumb. And you expected them not to do with the smartphone what people do with smartphones. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And most importantly, let me know. And most importantly, I can't wait to see you guys in my dance classes. If you are in New Jersey, specifically near Belleville, New Jersey, everything you need is going to be linked down below. Send in a donation if you didn't yet. No pressure. Just letting you guys know it's there. Check out my other channels. If you are interested in going to Brazil, everything is going to be linked down below. And shout outs to the patrons and the people on the membership. I love you so very much. With that being said, I'm going to see you guys in the next video.